after we found out the product market fit, what's also important is how do you make sure you have your competitive advantage if today there's other companies building similar software or similar features. So we want to make sure we utilize our first mover advantage to acquire good clients. When people say, okay, I'm using this, Linear is using Galxe, Polygon is using Galxe, all the big best Web3 brands, they're all using Galxe daily. This is the messaging we want to deliver to the entire space. This is the tool that every marketing manager should get started with. We want to make sure we build this brand before others grow out later.
Before we begin, please note that the content provided in this podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. It is not intended as financial advice. Any decision you make based on the information presented here are at your own risk. Always consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Now, let's dive into today's episode.
Web3 marketers and founders, don't miss this episode. Community is the core of Web3, and marketing is one of the functions that grows your community. And in this episode, we speak to Charles Wayn, the founder of Galxe. Galxe is the leading platform for building Web3 communities. With over millions of unique users, Galxe has propelled the growth of Optimism, Polygon, Arbitrum, and more than 3,000 partners when I checked last with them. In this episode, we speak about different campaigns they have run, what is the significance of credentials, how did Galxe find its product market fit, and of course, Charles' journey as a Web3 founder. I am Diksha Dutta. You are listening to Web3 Quest. I really hope you enjoyed this conversation. Before we go into everything Galxe, tell us a bit about yourself. How did you land up in Web3? What was your motivation to come into the blockchain industry?
Yeah, for sure. So my name is Charles Wayn. I'm the co-founder of Galxe. Before Galxe, I graduated from UC Berkeley. My major was economics. After that, I went straight to the crypto space. So in 2017, I co-founded with four other partners. The first company called DLive. It's a live streaming company built on top of, at that time, there's a blockchain called Steam blockchain. So it was 2017. And then later, we built our own blockchain. It's actually the first Cosmos-based chain at that time. And then DLive, a live streaming app, a gaming-focused live streaming app, was built on top of our own chain, which is called Reno. So we did pretty well. At that time, we also signed PewDiePie exclusively streaming on DLive. And that was 2018, 2019. And then in late 2019, December 2019, or early 2020, the company was acquired by another company called BitTorrent. So, and then I stayed at BitTorrent for a year and a half, I believe. And then in 2021, March, me and my co-founder, Henry, we started Galxe. So that's my personal experience for the past 6 or 7 years. It's 7 years in crypto is actually a pretty long experience.
Yeah.
Compared to a lot of people.
It's OG experience, as you say in crypto. I mean, I think, what do we say? Like 1 year feels like 3 years in crypto because everything is happening so fast.
Right.
So let's talk a bit about Galxe. So you are solving like this problem, this pain point of, managing communities, which is actually one of the biggest pain points in Web3 after developer outreach. So why did you choose this particular problem to solve? And how are you solving it at Galxe? Like, also explain the project a bit.
Yeah, so the idea was very simple, right? And the background was, at that time, Harry and I, we were discovering, we were playing around. We were playing on DeFi or NFTs at that time, like how a lot of other founders started Web3 company. We were just fascinated about by the crypto and the Web3 in general, and wondering if we can do something, particularly if NFT or DeFi and DeFi can be combined. So at that time, the first idea we introduced was called a permissionless NFT as a service infrastructure. However, to break down this, this new concept, NFT as a service, that means we want to build a SaaS solution for businesses to create NFT easily to distribute to their community. Then the other question is, why do they want to create an NFT for their community? Why do they distribute NFT to their community? Like artists, they do NFT for collectibles for their fans. Games, they use NFT for items. But companies, corporates, or businesses, what can they do about NFT? And one idea came into mind is they can be utilities, right? They can have utilities. They can have they can be membership, status, achievements for their community members. So it's actually a perfect tool for community building. That's why they started the whole thing. And then, by doing it, we realized the edge for building such a platform is not just a tool, making them easy to issue NFTs, but we need to be able to provide good composability on the data to let them easily verify users what they have done. And then I give you this status, I give you this membership based on what you have done, right? So that's the whole idea. So we introduced a term called credentials. I think that's a very bad term because nobody understands what it is. But
Okay.
But it's cool. In our design, everything or all the behavior data are credentials or their tags to users. So based on what you have done, for example, I swapped $100 on basis DeFi protocol. I got this credential, and then I will be eligible to claim this badge or membership NFT. So that was the concept. We at the very beginning, we want to build a platform that can let brands easily achieve this to do this with a drag and drop plug and play dashboard. And by building such campaign or loyalty experience for their community, it can help them achieve different objectives as well. For example, it can be attracting new users, retargeting their communities, retargeting to increase their user retention, and also reaching out for new audience, finding new audience, and potentially use it as a loyalty solution, basically. And that can be a very big market. I believe there is a huge demand for this, especially in Web3 space, because before we started, probably the only way for running crypto marketing are just doing Twitter and doing AMAs. That was exactly what people do before 2021. And then since 2021, since we started to do this, and after that, we also saw a lot of other companies building similar features. Now the standard way of go to market for a company is doing a quest, right? It's doing a learn to earn program, let you try out the app, and then claim some kind of rewards or claim some of the badges. So that means it works. We successfully found out our product market fit.
So you said that nobody understood or understands the word credential, which you introduced. Why don't people really understand it? Like, what's the misunderstanding?
Yeah, I think it's a good term. It's a fancy term from a Web3 perspective, but to normal users, they don't understand what credential means, right?
Yeah.
Does it mean my password, or does it mean my security tokens, whatever? So, yeah. But credential basically means that's something, but it can also be certificates or, some other stuff. So what we mean was particularly certificates or some kind of achievements or tags or what you have done, right? So, we introduced this term. I think it was Multicoin and us. We come up this term together, on-chain credentials at that time. But yeah, now it's a cool term. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people talking about this.
Yes. Yeah. I always get my credentials, proof of something, something somewhere. So, so let's dive into product, your product a little bit more. So what is Galxe OAT, or you call it OAT? I don't know.
Yeah.
Galxe ID and
Right.
Galxe Passport.
Yeah.
How do these work? And if you can actually explain it with the help of an actual campaign that you implemented, it will be even more helpful to understand it.
The biggest feature for Galxe is those campaigns, right? Basically, you can run events, create your new events or new campaigns or new quests, setting up some requirements, setting up some eligibilities or credentials. For example, you swap $100, but I also want you to follow me on my Twitter account. I also want you to join my Twitter space or acquire a certain role at my Discord server. Right. So say if I have all of this requirement, if you meet all of this, or you meet one of these conditions, you will be eligible to claim some kind of rewards. Right. So we have two ways for distributing NFTs. One is, they can, developers or dashboard or community managers, they can use our dashboard to deploy a new smart contract directly. The other way is they can just use Galxe OAT smart contract. So Galxe OAT is a general ERC 721 smart contract, but it has capability for admins to subsidize gas fee to enable gasless experience for their community members. So Galxe OAT it's just modified 721 smart contract where it's gasless. It can be gasless to users when users claim, and it's just so every time when you distribute some NFT, you don't have to deploy a new contract. You can just continue to use this contract. That was the idea. I know we call it Galxe On-Chain Achievement Token, so Galxe OAT. And it turns out it's currently probably the largest NFT badge or attendance badge sender in the entire space. It's a number one NFT collection on Polygon, on BNB chain, on Avalanche. And we also support Optimism. We only supported this 4 chains, I believe. We're also on Aptos, this Galxe OAT contract. So it probably have more than 10 million unique holders and over 50 million, I believe, unique badges been minted so far. So that's Galxe OAT. It's just a lightweight NFT standard for brands to easily to use for bags solution. And then Galxe ID, I would say the name itself, it's too fancy, but it's actually not a decentralized identity. It's more like an account system. It's just Galxe account where, when people do quests, when people verify their credential, prove what they have done, they will be required to connect their Twitter account or Discord account. So they do all of them within Galxe ID. So Galxe, there's account system allow you to connect your social accounts from different places. And then, whatever you have done, you can easily click on verify yourself. Galxe will verify it and tell the organizer that you have already been verified. That's the whole idea. That's the whole concept. The Galxe ID currently has, if we really talk about unique addresses, we have over 90 million unique addresses. 90 million, yes. But we never advertise. Yeah, just people, whoever used the Galxe before, they will have a Galxe ID created. So, but some meaningful data here can be, we have over 2 million Twitter accounts, 2.2 million Discord users binded their Discord accounts, and over 2 or 3 million email addresses binded with their Galxe ID. So this is actually more powerful than the addresses itself, because this is actually the largest identity database in the space. And then on top of this Galxe ID, we introduced the Galxe ID SDK. So similar to Google login, right? Today, every app wants to integrate login with Twitter, connect your Twitter account or connect your Discord account. But they can just do it using Galxe ID SDK. So people who have already binded their Twitter account, they don't have to do it again. You can just request this information directly from your users for them to share, to authorize to share with you. So, that's the idea. Galxe ID and Galxe ID SDK. And last year we introduced the Galxe Passport. So Galxe Passport, I think it's also, we built this feature to support our existing campaign business or campaign features. So Galxe Passport is actually the largest on-chain KYC solution. So the idea is very simple. People go through a standard KYC process, verify their government ID, and then from our third-party vendor called Persona, our partner. So they verify their identity there. Once they are verified, they will be able to mint a soulbound token within their wallet. However, Galxe does not keep the association between the addresses and the identity information. And also Galxe doesn't have from Galxe, and Galxe will not have the access to see the identity document itself. So which means it's a 100% privacy preserved, and the privacy information are encrypted by users' private key. So, and there's a lot of use cases about on-chain KYC. I don't know if you are familiar with this space, because, some DeFi apps, they want to have some kind of lightweight solution where they do not want to let US users to use their product. Or, I want to make sure you are not a user under age of 18 or 16, right? So they can easily use Galxe Passport as this solution, where we simply tell them yes or no. And users do not have to share their identity data with the developer. And this is also included within Galxe ID SDK.
And how do you ensure that all these are actually humans, like these unique users, and they're not? Does my question make sense?
Yeah. Well, actually, we got this question. This is the most asked question from our clients as well. So, for example, Galxe ID, Galxe Passport is a perfect solution for this, because everyone literally needs to go through a KYC process. They will have to do a liveness check by our third-party vendor. So, so that's one solution for Galxe Passport. And the design of Galxe is you can bring your own data. That's what we introduced. There's a feature called BYOD, bring your own data, where they can implement some kind of credentials brands can introduce some kind of standards by themselves. For example, if I request you to hold more than 10 ETH in your Ethereum wallet, I can add that as an additional credential as well. So that means you can participate, but you also have to meet this requirement in order to claim the reward. And so the similar idea, we also added native integration with Galxe Passport, right? Where you have to have a score above maybe 20 or 15 in order to participate in certain campaigns. But we give all of these options, flexibilities, and let them be able to bring their own data to build everything themselves. We do not enforce them to choose, because we simply, from a SaaS perspective, we want to offer all the features to make sure they can be successful here.
And which is the biggest campaign you've actually implemented? I think it was Linea, right?
Linea, yes. Yeah. So before Linea, Arbitrum obviously was the largest. And also actually, Optimism had one called OP Quest. They introduced last year, September, which was also very successful. But Linea campaign, months ago, they just ended months ago. They are the largest campaign. Every single week, they release one campaign module. And in average, there are about 1.5 million users participating.
So what do you think worked so well for Linea that it became your largest campaign?
Yeah, I think the coordination was perfect. The planning overall. So, but that planning, that coordination overall we've been preparing for that for over half a year, I believe, 6 months, since we reached out to them for the first time. So they've been thinking about their go-to-market strategy for their testnet, for their mainnet. They intentionally decided the time at that, for that time. And then they introduced the mainnet during ECC. So, strategic planning is very important. And also, everybody know consensus and MetaMask. So the brand itself, it's so powerful. And when they introduce ZK, EVM, everybody was crazy. And there's a lot of builders, they go to join Linear ecosystem, build app or Linear mainnet support immediately after they launch. So it's just a fundamental. And also, I think when they started their campaign on Galxe was also at their all-time high user base. So we have about 4 or 5 million monthly active users in June. So that was also the best amount of Galxe as well. So we were able to create this network effect because every campaign they introduce some new apps built on top of new app developers built on top of Linear, and with the promotion from those app developers, it really created network effect, and it works very well, and people are formally.
Okay, congratulations. Yeah, it was like I saw it all over Twitter and also some videos of yours. So I want to go back a little to the earlier days of Galxe. I heard one of your talks where you were talking about that you had a lot of learnings to find this product market fit that you have right now. So
Right.
what were those learnings? Like, did you do some mistakes before figuring out this product market fit? And tell us a bit about those learnings.
Yeah. So I always tell, my friends or other founders, finding your product market fit is the most important thing, when you start the business, right? And you should make sure to find out your product market fit when you are in the seed round stage. So the money you raised from the seed round is for you to find the product market fit and for you to build the first version of your product and prove it works. You have real demands from your clients who really want to use your product. So we successfully delivered that. In our seed round, we at least proved that there is a demand. Every community needs a tool like this to scale their growth to a different level, to the next level. And currently, there's just no better solution in the market for them to really combine on-chain engagement and off-chain activities or off-chain promotions together. And we were the first one to introduce this. So that's what we did at the very beginning, the product market fit. But also, after the seed round, after we found out the product market fit, what's also important is how do you make sure you have your competitive advantage if today there's other companies building similar software or similar features. So we want to make sure we utilize our first mover advantage to acquire good clients. So, when people say, okay, I'm using this, Linear is using Galxe, Polygon is using Galxe, all the big best Web3 brands, they're all using Galxe daily. Their community is literally, some of their community teams are using Galxe every day. So this is the messaging we want to deliver to the entire space. That this is the tool that every marketing manager should get started with. We want to make sure we build this brand before others grow up later. And then the other thing is, how do we make sure we can constantly be attractive to our clients? Which in our experience, we want to be able to have our own user base. Right? If today we're only a software, someday someone probably will have a better product than us. What can we do about it? How do we make sure, there definitely some genius UI designer can come up with a better product. Then user base will become important. People choose Galxe because they have the most features, best experience, best brand, and they have the biggest user base. If you launch your product, if you launch your event on Galxe, that means you're broadcasting this to the entire Web3 space. You are not just texting within your community, right? So So it's a different idea. We want to have this we want to establish this brand image along with the user base. So we want to be able to build a large user base to make sure we can constantly be attracted to our clients.
Yeah, it's very hard actually in Web3 with like so much innovation. But how did you get your first client? What is that story? Who was your first client?
Yeah, the story is actually very boring.
Okay.
So our first client is SushiSwap. So, and how did I reach out to them? I DM at that time, the founder, 0x Maki. I DM zero on Discord. So I was, I'm also been following the sushi. I was doing liquidity farming at that time. I witnessed the entire sushi swap where the drama, everything. I love that community. It's fantastic. And then I don't have personal connection with Maki at all. But I'm just curious. You know, I reached out. I said, you know, we want to build this. And do you say SushiSwap would be interested to use this? And it works. He replied. And then we set up the call. And turns out they've been looking for this solution at that time. So this is so easy, right? But you know, today a lot of people stop trying this, stop doing cold calls, stop doing outreach like this. They think you have to have some existing connections. Of course, if you have that, if you have some kind of referrals, that would be better. But I don't know. That's how magic starts. And when we finally confirmed that they are going to launch their first campaign and introduce, because they were looking for solutions to effectively distribute the tokens in their treasury to their loyal users. And that's exactly what we can help to solve the problem. Not in an agency way, right? But in a solution. We're a tool. We want to be able to let you to build something, to utilize this out of the box and launch it right away. So that was our story. And I think it's actually very important for any SaaS company to find top brands as their standard clients. And, you know, when you sell it to others, when you sell it to smaller brands, if you tell them, okay, SushiSwap is using this, Polygon is using this, you should use this too. You want to use the same solutions that they are using to scale your growth, to manage your community.
Yeah, no, that's great. I love that. And also, I think it talks about your other answer. Like if you really have a product market fit, like a solution that people are looking for, then it doesn't matter it doesn't matter so much whether you have a network or not. Because if I'm looking for a solution, I don't care. Like if I'm looking for a video editor doing something, I don't care whether it comes through like a connection or it comes through the actual problem that I'm looking to get solved. So that's great. Now, I read one of your tweets. I'm going to read it out. You said that there are 3 kinds of verifiable identity solutions that are adopted well in the crypto community. For biometrics, it's Worldcoin ID. Then it's Galxe for KYC. And then for Web for Trust, I hope I'm reading right. Web for Trust, it's like the Gitcoin Passport. So all of these work in different scenarios. And what, according to you, is a good verifiable identity solution? Like, how do you define a good verifiable identities?
I think people are still exploring because, for example, WorldCoin believes, by the way, this is not from me, actually. This is actually also from the founder of WorldCoin, Alex. Alex said this.
The other one.
The other guy. Alex said this, mentioned this in his podcast with Bankless. So I figure it's very interesting. He thinks that, you know, only these 3 categories. And I just named, there's already an example for each category. But what they believe is biometrics, and especially the iris scanning biometrics that's the solution for verifying a human, which But in order to achieve that, they have to build a hardware that's need to be secure enough, and really be able to identify each human with low fault rate. So Galxe Passport, as I mentioned, we are the solution of using KYC identities, the government docs, which highly relies on government IDs or existing centralized identity system. But there's also a downside. Half of the population, or less than half of the population in the world, do not have a proper ID, or probably their ID is just a piece of paper. They don't have their government ID verification process is even worse than Google Authenticator, probably. So how do you let all 6 billion people, 7 billion people in this planet to use this as a universal solution? So that's the downside. It relies on centralized solution, existing identity solutions. And then Web of Trust, what the Bitcoin Passport is exploring. I think it's very, very interesting. And it seems like a lot of people think this is actually a very interesting approach, but I'm not too sure if long term or when it has 100 million users, would it work perfectly? Because the way how they do it is allow you to connect different accounts, create different stamps in your identities, and then give you a score. They have a model to value to calculate your score. I think it's still very experimental for this kind of identities, but seems like it works well in the Web3 space, particularly. What WorldCoin is trying to solve is to bring it to 7 billion people. They think biometrics is the ultimate solution for bringing uniqueness, human uniqueness verification to 7 billion people. And Web of Trust seems like works so far the best within the Web3 space, because I can check your history on chain, I can check your poll app, I can check your Galxe history, I can check your Twitter accounts, Discord accounts, and then give you a score based on how likely you are a real human. I wouldn't say, I don't know which one would be the ultimate solution. I think so far, at least from Galxe Passport perspective, well, I think WorldCoin ID, they have about 2.2 million holders. Galxe Passport has about 430,000 now. Yeah, 430,000 holders. And then Bitcoin, I think in total they have about 201. Yeah, 201 with a score above 15, right? So it's actually a very hard score. If you create a new account, if you create a new blockchain wallet and simply connect your Discord and Twitter accounts, which most of the people only have these 3 accounts, right? If you only do that and you don't have a lot of on-chain history, you don't play DeFi a lot, very often, you probably only have score less than 10 or 11. So it's actually very hard to get 15. So I would say, yeah, it's hard to make a conclusion here, at least not within this podcast, but I will see probably in the next 1 or 2 years, people find out, and probably each industry will find out it's the best solution for their industry or for their sector. Maybe gaming, Web of Trust works the best for the gaming space, and probably Galxe Passport works the best for, I don't know, DeFi or financial space, because it involves some centralized verified identities.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So in terms of your target audience for Galxe, I know you're like really focusing on Web3 brands right now. At least that's what I understand. Do you also think this solution can go to big Web2 brands that are trying to get into Web3, launching NFTs, or you think it's something they won't understand?
Yeah. So in the past year, we've been experimenting. We actually talked to a lot of big brands in the past year and tried to understand in terms of loyalty solutions, what exactly are they looking for? So in the traditional Web2 loyalty solution, at least in the current world, they only need it for two reasons. One is I want to be able to make sure I'm able to unify all the customer data in one place. And then I'm able to achieve my business goals, like increase sales, increase users or improve user retention. So that's and then it encourages them to have a repeat behaviors, purchase behaviors. So only these two reasons. That's why businesses need a solution, need a loyalty solution. So far, at least from my experience, there's no Web3 solution solve these two problems better than current space, than current traditional Web2 solution. Well, people may say, okay, blockchain, the interoperability, all your data on chain, it's definitely solve the data problem. Yes, but it doesn't have to use doesn't have to use a blockchain technology to solve this problem right now. The traditional Web2 space, they don't care if this data is decentralized or not. And then current blockchain, it doesn't have there's no blockchain it's scalable enough to sustain this amount of data, and to make it really useful for corporates, traditional Web2 corporates, to use as a loyalty solution. So we talk to a lot of them. We also want to see, now we're good Web3 loyalty platform, loyalty solution provider. Are we able to bring our solution to Web2 clients? And turns out, so far, at least in our conclusion right now, the demand for Web3 focused loyalty solutions are not that strong. And of course, we've seen, there's so many big brands, they launched their NFTs. So it seems like NFTs are the only reason they use blockchain or they use a Web3 platform. But if we really look at it, not every brands are doing NFTs. And I would say 99% of the brands in this world, they have no interest about using NFT, particularly as a membership to replace their membership card. Because, it's on-chain, it's nice. We all understand this, but they just don't understand this and they don't find it so helpful. And especially compared to Web2 solution, it still has its scalability problems. So I think it's still going to take some time to experiment, maybe in some particular spaces. For example, gaming space, right? If we're able to bring their gaming achievements to on-chain achievements, that can be very nice. And actually, a lot of games are become Web3 games. They're turning their items into NFTs, so that the items can be traded everywhere. And then your histories, your playing histories, your achievements can all be on chain. Then at that time, maybe a Web3 solution, particularly for gaming, will work very well. We don't know. And I know a lot of builders are really focused on this. We're also talking to a lot of gaming companies to see how we can help on this. Maybe we can also have a tailored gaming solution for gaming companies.
Okay. Yeah. You shared some interesting points there about what all you could do. So that brings me to the next question. You raised 10 million. In which year was this?
Yes. So in total, Galxe raised 25 million before the token was. Yeah. So 25 million before the token was launched. We raised the 3 rounds within 2021 1 year. We raised the 3 rounds, and Galxe has its public token sale on CoinList in March 2022. And then after that, the Galxe GAR token was launched as well.
Now we have a rapid fire round to ask you some fun questions, also to know you a little bit outside life at Galxe and crypto. So
okay,
I'll start. So which is the first NFT you bought, Charles, and which year was it?
The first NFT I bought was MeBeats, I think. It was 2021.
MeBeats, okay. And you still have it?
I still have it, yeah.
Okay. What's the most rewarding moment you've experienced while building Galxe?
I don't know, to me, every month where we see all-time high data, performance in terms of growth, it's a rewarding, it's always rewarding for me personally and also as a team.
Okay, every moment. Okay, that's humble and nice. If you could have one superpower to help you in like running Galxe, what would it be?
Um, when we made our first dollar in revenue, I think that was the moment I was very excited. Even, it took some time and, it was, not easy, but turns out, yeah, that was very rewarding. And yeah, like literally.
Okay, cool. And the superpower. The superpower is like if you had one superpower that would change
Okay.
Galxe or, take it to its next level, what would you want to have?
If I have a superpower, I wish Galxe can reach 100 million daily active users. That's my goal. Yeah. Or yeah, 10 minute daily active users. We want to really build Galxe as the first killer app in the space.
So, okay, choose one of these, Ethereum or Bitcoin.
Ethereum.
Okay. And if you could have dinner with one of the crypto OGs, who would it be and what would you ask them?
I will choose Vitalik. Yeah, I'll choose Vitalik. I'll ask, how does he keep fit?
How does it keep fit? Okay, so what is your hobby outside of blockchain and all this work-related stuff that helps you unwind or makes you refreshed? And if you had more time, you would do more of this.
I like travel. I like travel around to see different people, to make friends with different people.
And if you were not in the tech industry, what is any other profession that you would have been in?
Art.
Art?
Yeah.
Okay.
Art. Yeah. Fashion, maybe. That's
nice.
that's also what I'm interested.
Okay, cool. That I didn't know. That's like a surprise. What's your favorite video game?
League of Legends. League of Legends. Yeah.
Okay. And this is the last one, huh? What's your like productivity hack that really helps you? So this we ask like in Web3, especially because we are always like connected to multiple channels, Discord, Telegram, Twitter. So what is a productivity hack that helps you do focused work?
Yeah, two softwares are very essential for me. One is the calendar. I pay for a calendar called Fantastical. It's a perfect calendar for you to schedule, to block time, to give you reminders of what's upcoming. So calendar. And then the second thing is an app called To-Do-List. It's just a to-do list app. So I cannot live without these two apps. Everything, even sometimes when I have some inspirations, I'll just write down on the to-do list as a to-do list. And then until I move it somewhere else, it will stay there until I check the box.
Yeah.
Unless I move it to another place for deeper thinking. Otherwise, it will stay there as my checklist.
Yeah, I mean, it's the simple app, but the simplicity is the beauty of it, right? I mean, I love it too. So, so anyway, Charles, this was great. Thank you so much for talking at midnight to Web3 Quest. We really learned so much about Galxe. We are going to check it out. We'll also leave information in show notes. I wish you all the best for the next 6 months.
Thank you, Diksha. Yeah. Well, look forward to coming back to the show after 6 months or after a year to see how we progressed.
Absolutely. Thanks, Charles. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
day.